Hoi Hoi Everyone, and welcome back to An Uncharted Life with Tara. Now today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 10 lessons that I have learned throughout my entire year on YouTube. Now I did do a video about this at the 6-month marker, so I will link that one up here. Not everything that I said in that one is going to be repeated here except for the first one. So let's get into it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to be very shocked and surprised by number 10, so stick around for that one. But number 1 on the list is batch creation is going to be your best friend. Now I said this in my previous video, but creating batch content is so nice, and it takes a lot of pressure off of you, especially if you are still in a position where you're trying to get YouTube off the ground and everything like that, and you have a low YouTube subscriber count and you can't monetize yet. You're going to have crazy life events happen and everything like that. So creating batch content is really going to save you from having to be up at 1 in the morning trying to create a video and getting stuff out, or be really stressed about it, because you'll just be able to turn around and go, cool, I've got the whole of February planned, so I can already start working on March's batch content creation and everything like that. So make sure you're using that wisely. This is going to take a lot of work up front, but it will make your life so much easier in the long term. That being said, you also do need to make sure that if you do create any batch content and everything that you do update anything. So if you do update something in there, you might have to pull the video down and redo the editing. So just be careful about that, because batch creation is a joy. It can also be an absolute pain if done incorrectly. Then number 2, you need to be careful about what you do, because it can impact others. Now I'm saying this more from a logistical standpoint, because everybody knows that I right now work on Princess Cruises. I know for a fact that with me doing interviews of the fellow team members and everything that are on board, I could get a lot of people into trouble with the questions that I ask. So I need to be very careful with the questions that I'm asking, because I don't want to get other team members in trouble. Because I know for a fact that if I put out anything negative or anything that could paint the company in a bad light or anything like that, Princess Corporate does have content creation bots and everything like that go through all of the stuff, probably some IT chip code thing that runs through everything. So there's that. Even though you can take a look into my description, I will always put the disclaimer that I do not represent my company, and everything that I do or say is not me being biased in any way to the company, in a good way or a bad way. However, that is not necessarily enough to protect others that may be coming on to my channel and everything like that, to protect them as well from stuff. I'm not saying anything bad is going to happen to anybody who comes on board the channel and does interviews with me or anything like that, but it is something that I need to be mindful of. I'm using the business side, but what a lot of people need to remember is this can also go personal. So if you're going to put your family online, if you're going to put stuff about your house or your address or anything that is related to you online, you are opening yourself up. So you do need to also look at that aspect. So this one is something that can be professional or personal, because there are some YouTube creators where they've put their entire personal life out in the world and it has fallen apart because of that. So please be very mindful of what you're doing, because it can impact others. It may not feel like it's impacting you in the moment, but it does impact those around you. So please be careful. Then number 3, don't get upset with feeding the machine. Now, I know a lot of people from the YouTube videos I've watched and everything like that, there's a very large statistic of people who never make it past the first year, or they go through the first year and they don't continue because they're not happy with the YouTube algorithm. They're not happy with feeding this machine that is YouTube and having a case scenario of where they're not seeing results. Please note, YouTube is a machine. You are feeding it with your content. You also need to know that if it disappears tomorrow, you're going to be fine. So this machine isn't the be all, it isn't the end all. However, it is a nice thing to have because it does help in a lot of ways. But don't get upset about feeling that your videos are amazing and they should be going to a wider audience, and YouTube's not pushing it out there. YouTube has got a system. They've got all of the stuff that'll tell them exactly kind of how to push, where to push, and they need data. YouTube runs pretty much everything off of the analytics, and that is how they're going to judge you. That being said, it is very difficult. It is not fun. You're looking at someone who's at about 150 subscribers. Am I upset by that? Yes. Do I feel I should have more subscribers? Yes. Am I taking this as a learning curve and part of the lesson? Yes, because I can mess up a lot more than if I had 10,000 subscribers. If I decided to pivot now and do a whole different channel idea and everything like that, I could be able to still do that because my content is small and my channel is small. I've got no massive impacts. So don't be too upset with the whole concept of feeding the machine, because that is what it's going to be like for the first 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, from the information that I've seen and been told from other YouTubers that have made it. And even then, you're still going to continue to feed the machine once you get monetized. This is just a little, pretty much a never-ending story and loop that you will be playing on repeat. So get used to it now and just accept it. You are going to be feeding the machine. You are going to be feeding the almighty YouTube algorithm, but it's okay. Yes, you want your stuff to get pushed out. So does everybody else. So it's okay. We're all in the same boat here. Then, number 4, connection with audience beats having the algorithm any day. Now, what I mean by this is responding to comments that you see on your YouTube channel, answering questions that they might post, liking comments, connecting with people and everything like that. I, for example, have been very super lucky. I have met several of the people who've watched my channel. They've taken photos with me, they've chatted with me, they've told me about their stories and everything like that. They've commented on my YouTube channel, on different videos, and I've gotten the joy to kind of meet up with them because they've gone, hey, so we're going on Sapphire Princess, and we met you because of the XYZ video and everything like that. And it's so nice to actually eventually see them and meet them. And the only reason I am meeting them is because when they commented on my video and I commented back, I was able to make a connection with them, make a situation where a small little friendship or acquaintanceship could form. And that is great, and that connection is going to be what keeps people subscribed to you. First of all, going to be what gets the higher watch hours for you. It's also going to be what makes people stay, because you see them as a person and not just a random number or robot behind the screen or the TV or the phone watching your YouTube stuff. They're now someone who you can talk to and all of that good stuff. So remember, audience connection is going to beat the YouTube algorithm, because most of the time they also promote you. So don't be shy about that. Then number 5, having a niche is nice to grow, but boxes you in long term. So the reason I say this is that you'll notice that my channel is not really growing. It grew last year October because I did a dry dock series, which I will link up here for anybody who hasn't seen that. It was probably one of the first few series that a lot of people have seen with a princess ship and everything like that, with regards to a dry dock. And I kind of documented how the ship got pulled apart, put back together, and it was beautiful. Most people were very curious about that. Most people were very interested about that. They subscribed for that time period and then they walked away. Don't blame them. However, right now my content is very cruise ship based, but I do base it still a little bit around my lifestyle. When I went home and visited South Africa, I didn't make anything based on the actual cruise ship industry or anything like that, and I could have. I had thousands of ideas I could have probably pumped out, but I didn't. I instead focused on travel and promoting my beautiful country, which I will also link the playlist somewhere here for you to enjoy. But that's the thing, I know that by focusing on a more broad category of travel, which does include cruise ships, and being a crew member, which is pretty much my life on board, all of that makes it very difficult for people to be able to niche me down, and for YouTube, once again the algorithm, to kind of promote me to people. I do have a lot of my cruise ship content promoted to those who are a part of the cruise ship world and everything like that, and likes watching some of that stuff, but then some of my South African travel content was not interesting to a lot of different people, and that is okay, because I'm not trying to niche myself down just into cruise ships. I want this channel to be something that I can grow and change with as I grow and change, because I don't want to be stuck in a niche that I don't feel is going to work for me when I turn 30, 35, 40, or heck, when I turn 60, if I'm even on YouTube then, or if YouTube still even exists in like 40 years or whatever. That being said, you can niche down, and if you want to niche down, there's nothing wrong with that. Please, this is a double-edged sword. Niching down can be amazing, it can also be deadly, so you need to decide what is going to work best for your channel, what's going to work best for you as a person. Because if niching down, if you're someone who loves technology or loves makeup and everything like that, then niche down. I, on the other hand, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Although often sometimes better than master of one. That's a full saying, sorry. But I have a variety of interests, and I'm not prepared to narrow it down just yet. But that's a me issue. But it's just a piece of advice that I like to give, because sometimes being in a niche is great, but it does block you. So be prepared for that to happen if you do niche down and you lose interest in your niche. 6. Your analytics do not equal your self-worth or your self-value, so don't let it. I am someone who I've always grabbed my phone every morning or whatever, and double checked how many subscribers I had, how many watch times, watch time there is, you know, what's the growth and everything like that. Have my videos gotten views? And sometimes I hit super lucky and some of my videos skyrocket. Other times, some of my videos just aren't interesting and they don't get a lot of views. And I refused right in the beginning of this entire journey with YouTube and everything like that to let it really bother me. I walked in for my first year going, I'm not going to let numbers bother me. I'm going to try to not let it mean anything to me. This is just supposed to be a fun project that I'm going to give a try. And that mentality has saved me, because there's a lot of people who they'll go in and they'll be like, okay, why have I not reached these numbers and everything like that? What am I doing wrong? You are not your analytics. Do not connect that to the value of your self-worth, because you are worth more than your video getting 2 views. I know you've put in a lot of effort and a lot of time to edit the video to make it look great. That is fantastic. You are not the number of views. You're not the number of subscribers that you have. You're not the amount of money that a video makes you. You are you. You're a unique, interesting, wonderful person, and that is what you have to bring. If you're going to let yourself get dogged down by all of the different analytics and numbers, you are then making the machine of YouTube your boss, and that is not what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be you having a fun time, or at least experimenting and trying to have a interesting development and see if YouTube is a place for you, but don't let your self-worth become equal to the number of views you get on a video or anything like that. You are not your analytics. You are a breathing human being. You are not just a minion to this machine. So don't allow that to affect you at all. Then, number 7, it is okay to get bored of the content you are making and then switch it up. Change it up. If you're still in the first year of YouTube, even if you're not in your first year, if you're just absolutely bored of the content you're making, if you are a bigger YouTube channel, it's going to be a little more complicated, because you'll have to slowly start integrating other channel videos and concepts and ideas, and that's going to be a little bit of a slow process to make it something that you're very interested in. This is where the whole concept of niching down can be very problematic, because if you've niched down in technology, it is going to be very difficult for you to now pivot and add in like beauty products. So if you're going to niche down, be careful, going back to that point. However, if you have not niched down and you started making cooking videos and you're now bored with making the cooking videos and now you want to do some home decoration videos or you want to do some makeup videos, you have that ability to pretty much pivot and have fun. So don't be shy, make sure that you turn around, give everything your best shot, and maybe you find something that you really like. Maybe your audience even loves the fact that they see you trying stuff, enjoy trying challenges and everything like that. And don't be shy to play, especially in your first year on YouTube. You have every right to just turn around and go, okay, cool, well, I've got nothing to lose, let's do everything. And then from there, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and what you like to make content about, and what really is just content that's like, this was great for the algorithm and you know, all of that stuff, but I don't like making it, so this is a one and done series that I made that will never happen again situation. So don't be shy about that. Then number 8, burnout is real. Yes. It's so funny because I know talking about burnout after 1 year, it's like you haven't even reached the top. Like, how could you even be at a position of burnout? You can get there because you're trying to push out as much long form content, short form content, do all of this stuff that under normal circumstances, if you do a lot, you're supposed to see results. And that is what most people run with the idea of, is that if I do X, Y, Z, I'm going to see A, B, C as the results. And I want A, B, C, therefore I will do this. YouTube doesn't work that way. And it sucks, but it's how it is. I know there's a lot of content creators that after Christmas, they are burnt out to the T because they do Vlogmas. I know I tried Vlogmas this year. I was very lucky, and I only did 2 videos a week, which was already a lot for me. And I know right now I'm doing still 2 videos a week, but one of them is a short and one of them is long form content. So I minimized the impact of needing to produce 2 videos a week by making the one just a fun, easy, like 1 minute video compared to the other one, which needs to be long form. So be prepared and don't try to burn yourself out within the first year, because otherwise you will walk away feeling unsatisfied, unhappy, and as if you didn't give it your all, or that you gave it your all and you never saw the results you wanted. So please watch out for the burnout. I, of course, can't talk because for July of 2025, was it June or July? No, July. I did 2 videos a week. And the only reason I did that, and this is where batch content comes in so handy, I had way too much content. I was about to leave the ship. My partner was going to come visit me and everything like that. And I had like 12 weeks worth of content still. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, because I had still planned to like do updates and, you know, trips around South Africa and all the travels that we were doing, and it wasn't going to make sense if I did all of that, but then I did a video saying, hey, I'm on this ship. So that's why I did that. So sometimes it comes in super handy, and by doing that I was able to avoid burnout because, well, I pretty much got a month off being able to go travel and see places. Was I still recording? Yes, but I didn't have to worry about an video. Then number 9, monetization takes longer than you think it's going to take. Now, we've all seen videos where like someone's like, oh, I got monetized and made so much in 30 days, 3 months, blah, 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 blah. This is all clickbaity items to make all of the smaller YouTubers that take longer feel terrible. So please do not watch some of that content. Yes, it's great because then you can realize some tips and tricks that like other content creators did to make themselves grow, and definitely for educational purposes, that content and stuff is fantastic. However, please do not do that as an opportunity to compare yourself. Once again, what you're providing for YouTube is amazing, great, and fantastic. The monetization game is a long-term gain. So you need to stick it out for the long haul. This is why you need to worry about burnout and not get burnt out. This is also why you need to worry about creating a connection with your audience. Because if you're able to do all of that, monetization should come quicker and easier. I have been able to grow my channel from 50 subscribers to 150 in less than 4 months. I was seeing a very nice turnover of subscribers where I was actually making those 50, 100, 150 markers in a shorter time frame. And I'm hoping that continues, but if it doesn't continue, it's also not the end of the world, because I still have goals. I'm still going to be doing this in the long run, and it's not going to kill me if I don't get monetized this year. I know monetization is going to be great, it's going to be wonderful when I eventually get there, but I also know I'm going to be making peanuts probably the first year I get monetized, because I'm going to be excited when I get my first 2 cents from an advert. So monetization is not the be all end all, and don't kill yourself for the monetization. It is not really worth it. Then number 10, the last and final one that's probably going to irritate a couple of people, and that is you either quit after the first year or you level up your game. Now, here's the thing. Many people after the first year walk away. There's nothing wrong with that. I was prepared to walk away after my first year because I just turned around and said this was going to be a 1-year project. If I liked it, I would continue. If I didn't like it, I give it a shot, could wipe my hands off it and say it's not for me. That is why you either quit or you level up like I have. Now my channel has taken a bit more of a growth change and a direction change, because this year, for example, I've already started posting the interviews that I want to be doing with different team members on board, so that people who have never worked on cruise ships, I can maybe give them a small insight as to what the jobs are going to entail that they're doing. But also I'm going to be starting a little series that will start next week where I'm telling everybody about finances. Why? Because I had no idea how to handle my money when I was a crew member coming on board. Is that information going to be helpful to just crew members? No, but it's something I would have loved to have had. So right now I am focusing a lot more on cruise ships items and cruise ship content, but I can heavily expect that to change in the next year, at the end of this year, and then I'll level up again and I'll change my whole concept again. And I'm looking forward to that, because at the end of every year it's just going to be a level up, and I'm going to continue to level up if I decide to stay in the game. You can walk away, and there's no shame in walking away. Now I hope all of these little tips and tricks have kind of helped you feel a little better about being in the YouTube industry and in the YouTube game. And if you are someone who wants to join in, please do, and join in on the fun of making YouTube videos and everything like that. But I also hope this hasn't provided you with any additional pressure of, if you wanted to walk away, you can. So leave me some comments below if you've got any questions, or let's just make it a very positive area down there, and don't be shy. This is Tara from An Uncharted Life, with all the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Have a fantastic day, folks, and bye!